Danny's here as well. We got a ton of prizes to give away as well. College basketball tickets coming up for the big tournament in town, the Crown. That's inside of the next 15 minutes. A busy week as we'll be out covering the Final Four in Indianapolis. That's brought to you by Jackson's Bar and Grill, Circus Sports. And we're also covering the Aramco LPGA at the end of the week. That tournament's in town. So a lot of good stuff coming up. But, Jeff, we come out of a weekend where it was pretty wild and woolly yesterday. I'm not shocked by a big comeback and a buzzer beater because we've seen those happen before. I still don't know what is going on with the Vegas Golden Knights. This one is a head-scratcher. It's not that the Knights won't make bold moves, and when they're done, they're done. But the timing of this one is crazy to me. Knights move on from Bruce Cassidy, who won. Butchie got him a Stanley Cup a couple of years ago. Man, a lot of people are in weird positions, aren't they? Make sure you listen to VGK Insiders. I can't wait to hear what they have to say. Because everyone's got feelings about Butchie. I got feelings about Torts. So I don't know about that guy. We're going to get a NHL Insider on here in a couple of minutes, but I would say this is what the Knights do. But even this is pretty wild for the Knights. 8 games left in the season, and Bruce Cassidy, gone, fired.
8 games to go, and you bring in a guy in Tortorella who, I mean, do you really think you're going to catch lightning in a bottle for 8 games plus the playoffs with him as your coach? That's where I'm a little bit befuddled by this. If you're going to make this move with Cassidy,
Yeah.
I would have made this move after you came out of the Olympic break and were just terrible right out of the chute. Like, to make this move at 7 o'clock at night on the 29th of March with 8 games to go makes really no sense to me whatsoever. We'll see if the team responds tonight. They'll have an opportunity to play Vancouver over at T-Mobile, and the Canucks are one of the worst teams in the NHL, so it's a nice little soft landing spot. But Cofield, I texted you immediately after I saw it. It's just like, what's happening here? And do we really think even with a coach change, this team was going to do anything in the playoffs if they even get there at this point? Probably not. But it just reeks of desperation. I would have just, whatever happens, these last 8 games in the first round of the playoffs happens, and then you just give her to Cassidy at the end of the year if you're going to do it anyway now. And this really, more than anything else, puts the pressure on Kelly McCrimmon now, doesn't it? Like, the goaltending situation hasn't worked out. You're now firing a Stanley Cup winning coach with 8 games to go in the season. It's just very, very, very strange, even for a franchise that has really been, for lack of a better word, ruthless with the way it has operated through the years of getting the players they think will get it close to him. Now firing a Stanley Cup coach, winning coach with 8 games to go in the season, even by what we've seen from the small history of this franchise, this one is a stunner to me, Cofield.
I don't bet hockey, but I just went up to my William Hill mobile account and just bet on the Knights.
You bet on the Knights.
And I bet laying 1.5 goals, which I don't do in any sport.
It's probably the right move.
You think? Well, I'm expecting a bump.
It's one of two things.
There better be a bump tonight. They better come out with their hair on fire.
I mean,
Cassidy just lost his job because of us guys. I'm blown away by this. But it is another, whether you think it's positive or negative, it is another feather in the cap of the Knights and Foley, that they are going to do whatever they think needs to be done, and your pesky emotions and your stupid loyalty out the window. And I'm being sarcastic when I call pesky, emotions pesky and loyalty stupid. That's how everyone else in the world of sports, for the most part, operates. Which suggests to me that I still feel like, because you brought up GM Cam, I still feel like there's something else going on behind the scenes beyond just the lackluster performance of the team. Like, I don't want to say it's the Denver Nuggets situation, but that was a wild situation, right? But Josh Kroenke was like, I can't watch you two guys fight all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Between Malone and Booth. Like, that's enough. So there's a story behind the story. We'll see if we can get some more on this. But yeah, I just laid a goal and a half, minus 140. I don't bet hockey. And again, I don't lay minus 1.5. I will say over the weekend, I looked at a lot of baseball games. And you know how a lot of the menus are up on the apps. They're really starting to get me with like the run line number seems to be first now on every app. So I look down and I'm like, because I don't even see the minus 1.5 or plus 1.5 on a baseball game. I just see the number and I'm like, wait, what? That's going. Oh, okay. Money line's now on the far right. Because I don't want to lay 1.5 in baseball ever. No. I guess maybe if the Rockies, go on a run here and they're, 1-33 or something, then we have to start playing against that trend. But these are wild times, which will lead us into a conversation later on about the NBA is coming here. And Bill Foley wants to be the owner of the NBA team. So when you see a move like this, what does it make you think about him as a potential NBA owner? And then the other thing is, was this fake yesterday? Did the Knights fire Bruce Cassidy and then within 24 hours post a, thanks, Bruce? Was that real? Can we double check that?
It would make a lot of sense if they did.
It does?
Yeah.
When have you ever seen that before?
Oh, wait, Cofield, this happens a lot more than it should now.
The same day, the same 24-hour period. Hey, buddy, thanks a lot.
I mean, the Steelers,
he didn't retire.
I mean, the Steelers wish Tomlin a happy birthday after they fired him. Did you see that when that happened?
Well, technically, did they fire him
or whatever it wants to be?
Of the ways. Now, if this was deemed a parting of the ways, Danny says yes, it was real.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's kind of next level. That's odd. Which then again tells me that there's got to be some other stuff that hasn't come out yet.
I don't know. Who knows, Cofield? Again, hockey's such a bizarro sport when it comes to the coaches too. Like we see guys get fired within 5 games of the season starting. This is not the first time this has happened either in recent NHL history either. Yeah. So like, it's just so bizarre when it comes to coaches, but this just the Tortorella portion of it makes it even more weird to me.
So I'm looking at Danny for people who are watching the live stream right now. I was just talking to you about the new Open. You ever get in a real fight, Danny?
It's been a very long time, probably 20 years.
When's the last time you fought?
Middle school, early high school.
All right. Sorry, I was doing John Tortorella there. Do you remember that exchange?
Oh, yeah.
Years ago with the New York Rangers beat writer?
Yeah.
Which the writer was actually awesome. He's like, I don't know. Do you want to fight? I think he said something to that effect, like, okay, are you ready to fight? Which is kind of our whole wish with Mick Cronin that he does that. So now we have Torts in town. I don't know what's going to happen there.
It's gonna be a very interesting stretch.
He said that's all water under the bridge years later, and I was like, I don't know, man. That's a weird moment. If you ask someone if they've ever been in a fight and just stare them down, Danny didn't pick up on it. I'm not very intimidating.
No,
he's also a lot bigger than me.
Yeah, Danny's bailout. Danny's as big as I am. Also,
I would go right down with a low single for my wrestling days.
Cofield, it is just it was a shocker, even by the win at all costs philosophy that this franchise has had. Shocking. Okay. And I'm curious what it ends up doing long term as well.
Yes.
For trying to get a high end coach in here after again, from what I saw, this contract for Tortorella is the rest of this year, and that's it. That's what I saw on the report. That it's only the rest of this year.
It's crazy.
Does he end up if Tortorella if this team makes the West Final after being a nothing burger for a lot of this year? Does Tortorella stick around?
I think he has to.
I think he probably does. Which I don't think Tortorella is a good long-term option at this point in his career.
You know, it's funny. I hadn't even processed the long-term run, but I guess we do have to discuss that. So these are all good questions for NHL Insider coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're going to talk to Adam Kimmelman from NHL.com. But before that, let's do a giveaway. College basketball week is here with the Final Four, and we've got a great tournament in town. The Crown is here. The Crown is a single elimination tournament. Quarters coming up in the middle of the week at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Semifinals and championship at T-Mobile. This thing will run from Wednesday through Tuesday. You got 8 schools in town battling for a $500,000 prize pool. Oklahoma, Colorado, Baylor, Minnesota, Stanford, West Virginia, Rutgers, and Creighton. Tickets are under $50 for general admission. You can go to collegebasketballcrown.com for information to get tickets. Well, we got a pair right now. Caller 7, 364-1100. Go watch some high-level college basketball with lots of money on the line with 8 schools in town starting in the middle of the week.
Got something to say? Hit us up on the Bay Law text line. 702-364-1100. Brought to you by Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is no accident.
Worried about your car payment? Don't be. Drive happy with a Westar Credit Union auto loan. Whether you are ready for something new or want to refinance your current ride, we've got you with affordable payments and easy approvals. Picture yourself behind the wheel, windows down, music up, on the road to what matters most. Apply today at westar.org or stop by your nearest branch. All loans are subject to approval. Terms and conditions apply. Must be a member to borrow. Membership requires a savings account with a minimum balance.
Harry Douglas here. I don't wait for birthdays to celebrate. I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes like rich vanilla birthday cake with buttery funfetti goodness. Seriously, it's unapologetically extra in the best way. And it's sugar-free. So I get all that cake flavor without the guilt. It's tiny, portable, and ready for whenever I need a quick boost. I keep one with me because you never know when you'll need a little party energy. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
JT, you know, I've been telling you about Findlay Volvo Las Vegas. What a tremendous selection. How about the 2026 EX30 Plus AWD full compact electric SUV? You're going to love this deal. 0% financing up to 36 months. 3.99 APR financing up to 72 months with approved credit. I've been telling you about this unbelievable location. If you're considering buying or leasing a luxury SUV, you got to see and test drive a Volvo.
Good morning.
Vegas is built on service.
Studio lights on, please.
3 shifts a day.
All right, let's do this.
As your morning begins.
It's showtime.
We have a lot to talk about live on the program for the next 3 hours.
To do our part, News 3 Today delivers Las Vegas stories that shape your community.
Just in some breaking news on the economic front.
So, whether it's late breaking,
breaking news,
bumper to bumper,
Avoid using flamingo,
or clearing skies,
no showers anticipated.
It's News 3 Today.
The Vegas Golden Knights are rolling through another epic season. And there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Knights on the ice. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. So it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not seltzer, it's Surfside, official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights. Sold in arena and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Aviators fans, your PCL champs are taking on the Dodgers AAA affiliate, the Oklahoma City Comets. And here's the lineup. Tuesday, March 31st, your Aviators are Reyes de Plata. Wednesday, April 1st, it's a day game starting at 11 a.m. Thursday the 2nd, $2 beer night. Friday the 3rd, it's an Aviators and Las Vegas Aces jersey giveaway. Saturday the 4th, come get your free 2025 PCL Champions hat. And Sunday the 5th, kids can run the bases. There's free parking, easy access, great food, and good times. Aviators baseball. Life's just better at Las Vegas Ballpark.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55-plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking always free.
Leadership isn't just about titles, it's about impact. It's about the people who quietly lift communities, inspire progress, and leave things better than they found them. On Friday, April 10th, join Southern Nevada's business and community leaders at the Henderson Chamber of Commerce Leap and Legacy Awards, an inspiring luncheon honoring those making a lasting difference. Hosted at the Raiders headquarters and Intermountain Health Performance Center. Reserve your seat or become a sponsor at hendersonchamber.com.
Terribles Tuesday just got bigger. Whoa. Download the free Terribles Plus Rewards app today and enjoy a new expanded menu of 40 items to choose from every Tuesday for free. You heard that right. Absolutely free. So no matter which one of you walks in, you can guarantee that you'll walk out with exactly what you're craving. Delicious. Terribles Tuesday, exclusively on the Terribles Plus Rewards app. Your daily routine rewarded deliberately different.
Hey, Jeff, how's the new job working out?
Really sucks. Terrible boss and the paycheck is even worse. I gotta get a new job.
Truck you.
Wait, what?
Truck you.
You don't have to curse at me.
Dude, you should check out Truck You CDL training. My brother got his CDL license in 4 weeks, and now he has a new career making great money.
Okay, I'm listening.
Truck You offers small classes with night and weekend times available. They will even help with payment programs. Check them out. LV.com. Truck You.
Dad, I keep seeing these ads for injury lawyers. They talk about one big case. And you know why they focus on that one case? It's probably all they've done. At our firm, we have over 250 verdicts and settlements of $1 million or more. In Nevada, we'd say those other lawyers are all hat, no cattle. All frosting, no cake. All froth, no beer. All sizzle, no steak. All bark, no bite. The Richard Harris Law Firm. Call 444-4444, just in case.
Level up any sub with Pepperoncini Pepper Jack. Back for a short time only. Order today at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
This is clearly a desperation move. And your question is an excellent one. He can be very hard, but it's pretty clear here that the Vegas Golden Knights saw that this wasn't going to work. And, sometimes when you make changes at this point in the season, it's not as if you have a wide option to go to.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Crazy times. VGK is a unique organization. Bill Foley's a unique owner. It's Cofield. It's Jeff Parles. We find out yesterday Bruce Cassidy fired Stanley Cup winning coach, 10 years ago? No. It was a short time ago. He's out with 8 games left, and we wanted to turn to a insider from outside the market. Adam Kimmelman is with us from NHL.com. How are you, sir?
I'm good, and I guess I'm as surprised as everybody else was at the turn of events from yesterday with John Tortorella, the new coach of the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm as curious as anyone else to see how this is going to work out.
Yep. Well, let's first talk about coaches getting fired in the NHL. I know it's not unusual. It's probably the most topsy-turvy league for coaches in all the 4 major leagues. But with 8 games left in the season, I mean, what sort of historical data do we have on this front of other organizations doing this?
Well, I guess the closest, comparison is the 99-2000 New Jersey Devils were in first place when they fired Robbie Ftorek. Their coach hired Larry Robinson. They went on to win the Stanley Cup. I'm not going to sit here and anoint the Vegas Golden Knights as, the favorites to win the Stanley Cup this year after making a move like this, but that's really the only historical, comparison you can make to have it happen this late in the season. So it's pretty unique as far as that goes.
Well, Adam, isn't the biggest difference like Torts is completely forget being out of the organization. He hasn't coached in a little bit now.
Well, yes, but he still watches as much hockey as any other coach in the league, working in TV with ESPN. And let's not forget, he's only a handful of weeks removed from the Olympics, where he did have a pretty, significant role in that U.S. team winning the gold medal. So it's not like he's removed from the game. I guess the comparison is Rick Bowness before he got the job with the Columbus Blue Jackets was on a boat with his wife. And I don't know how much hockey he was watching, but the Blue Jackets have certainly done very well since that coaching change. So no, to say John Tortorella wasn't, did he have a job with one of the 32 teams? No. But was he out of the game? Had he removed himself from watching hockey? Absolutely not. He probably had more opportunity to watch more games because he didn't have a job with an NHL team.
So Adam, I'll just go for broke right here. Do you think this works?
I think I know how Kelly McCrimmon and Mr. Foley would answer that question. They certainly hope so. It's a very interesting choice. John Tortorella, there are no gray areas with him. Having covered him extensively throughout his stops in the NHL, 3 seasons he was in Philadelphia on a daily basis. There are no gray areas with him. He is going to come in and he is going to set a standard, and he is going to expect the players to live up to that standard if they want the ice time they're used to getting. What I think helps in this case is the fact that the Golden Knights are an older team. They're better players, have been in the league. They have a little bit of experience in winning. There's still a lot of guys from that championship team still there. So they know what it takes to win. I think it's just as simple as having a new voice in the room is going to help make a little bit of a change there. So is it going to work? It's going to be a treat to watch. One of my colleagues made the statement, and he's right. The NHL is a far more interesting place when John Tortorella is involved in whatever role he's involved in this case, coaching. So the Golden Knights now become maybe not the best team in the league, but they certainly become one of the more interesting teams in the league.
Talking about the firing of Bruce Cassidy, Adam Kimmelman is with us from NHL.com. As you watch the Knights this season, and especially of late, what is wrong with them?
Well, I think, obviously the depth that they have, or the lack of depth that they have, has been a problem for them. They just don't have as much of it because of all the other moves they've made to get to this point. They don't have young players they can rely on to help supplement some of their older players when they get injured, i.e. like what's happened to Mark Stone. They don't have the depth on defense that they used to have. The goaltending obviously has been a massive issue for them. But, these are all problems that can be solved. If Carter Hart can come back healthy, or if Aiden Hill can rediscover his game, that goes a long way towards solving a lot of those problems. But, there are some things that need to come together for that to happen. If they can get healthy and if they can get the goaltending where it needs to be, I think they remain a team that is a threat to win a Stanley Cup.
What has been the word around the league about the Knights and sort of their NFL Rams-like attitude, the F them picks, and they go big game hunting every offseason? Have people just been waiting for this to happen? Like it didn't happen yet, and they won a cup a couple of years ago, but have people just been lining up to go, hey, that's not the way you do it. We were right.
Well, I'm not a big fan of schadenfreude and rooting for the misfortune of others. To me, when I think of the Vegas Golden Knights, they remind me of the Bill Belichick New England Patriots, where there is no loyalty. It's a transactional relationship. You are part of our organization as long as we think you can help us. And the minute we don't believe you can help us anymore, we're going to find another player who can. Now, if you're a fan of that team, it means your ownership and your management is very committed to winning above and beyond anything else. If you're a player, maybe it's not the most conducive environment. So, that to me is the easiest comparison that I can make when it comes to the Vegas Golden Knights. Whether this is some sort of karmic retribution for things they've done in the past, I don't buy into that. If I'm a fan of the Vegas Golden Knights, I like having a team that's in the playoffs every year. I like having a team that's a cup contender every year. So, it's sort of choose your own adventure there, what you think of what they've done and how they've gone about doing it. The success, you can't argue with it. They've got a cup. They've been to the playoff 7 times in 8 years or 8 times in 9 years. So, it is what it is there.
What do you think it does for future coaching outlook if, Tortorella doesn't want the full-time job or, doesn't get it? Are there coaches around the league who are like, I don't want to work for an organization like that?
I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's true because if I'm a coach and I'm told, well, you can work on a team that's built around Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, Mitch Marner, I think I could live with whatever else goes along with it because you're getting a Stanley Cup ready foundation that you can then build around. And that regardless of what the flip side is, you have a GM that will go all in all the time.
Here's what it sets up for us, too, because there's a side story developing in that Bill Foley wants to be the owner of the new NBA franchise here. And I think it's really interesting. What do Las Vegans want? And I wonder what the outside perspective is. Do you want an owner like Bill Foley to own an NBA team? Because the risk is at $7 to $10 billion to get into the NBA, we could also be getting some donks from private equity who maybe don't have any connection to the team or, are looking to cut costs all the time, just make money. So it's a really intriguing scenario, especially with this storyline dropping with Cassidy going bye-bye.
Well, I think there's a lot of inferences and hypotheticals there of what could happen, what might happen, that I think is a little bit too far down the road to look at. I'm not an NBA guy, and I know as much as what I've seen, in the news, that they're just beginning to explore that process. So you're talking about a situation that's for sure, I would think 3-4 years down the line. So I don't know if I would be, if I'm a Golden Knights fan, I'm worried about that quite yet. So I think in the present,
Adam, I hadn't even thought about that angle about Foley having, being distracted. I mean, we're getting the NBA team in 2028. I was just talking about, I think ownership now is in this transition period where you hit it like 4 minutes ago. There are fans who want loyalty. There are fans who love players. They buy their sweaters, and they're like fans of VGK early on were shocked that Gallant was gone, that Nate Schmidt went, and like they were really pissed off, and they're like, we're never rooting for these guys again. And to your point a couple minutes ago, a lot of them are like, well, this is kind of cool that we make the playoffs every year, and they go out and get big free agents.
Well, for sure. And the thing that lasts the most are championships and those championship memories. So yes, would you like to have a team full of guys who you draft, you develop, and you can root for 10, 12, 15 years, and they bring home a truckload of championships? Sure, everybody wants that, but the reality is this is how pro sports work. And if you want championships, if that's the goal, if the goal is to build a winning franchise, there are some sacrifices as a fan you have to be willing to make, and that one of those is your favorite player could be traded or let go as a free agent tomorrow.
Last 30 seconds, who do you think will win the West?
Oh, goodness. I'll go back to what I wrote on NHL.com in September. I picked the Colorado Avalanche then. I've seen nothing to really make me change my mind. I look at Dallas. I look at Minnesota. I look at Anaheim, certainly Vegas as contenders for that. But I still think the Avalanche are a pretty good chunk ahead of the field when it comes to who might come out of the West.
Adam, that was very good. Everyone go read Adam up on NHL.com. We appreciate your time.
Thanks. Anytime, guys.
There is Adam Kimmelman from NHL.com. Yeah, we're getting the NBA team in 2028. So, I mean, this is like and the owner's pretty much going to be decided, I would assume, by the end of the year. So, yeah, I hadn't even thought of that angle. Are VGK fans rooting against Bill Foley getting in the NBA team as well? Because it's like, can he really pay attention to two teams? He can. He can.
Crazy.
Let's build on that on the way back because there's a lot going on here. When I saw his name pop up last week about having an interest in NBA ownership, and then you start thinking about the arenas and the sites, and could T-Mobile house both of them? These are, again, I am mind blown at times what we're doing now in this market. The discussions we're having from what we were having just a few years ago with all these major league franchises on the way. A reminder, we're going to be at the Final Four coming up at the end of the week, and it's in part brought to you by our friends at Circa Sports. You can catch the Final Four, of course, at Circa and Circa Sports in the world's largest sports book. And don't forget to download the Circa Sports mobile app, and you can avoid the wait times. There's no reason to wait at the counter at any time, especially on game days. So download the Circa Sports mobile app today.
This is Ken Korak, the voice of the A's, and we're excited to be partnering with the Las Vegas Sports Network and bringing Major League Baseball to Las Vegas. You can catch A's baseball across the Las Vegas Sports Network, including Fox Sports Las Vegas 94.7 FM and 1340 AM, ESPN Las Vegas 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, and VSiN 1230 The Game, presented by Findlay Honda Henderson and Findlay Honda in Centennial Hills.
1877 Cars for Kids, KARS Cars for Kids, 1877 Cars for Kids, donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Accidents happen, usually due to someone else's flagrant foul.
Hi, this is Paul Pata from Paul Pata Law. After an accident, the insurance company doesn't care. To them, it's just a game. That's when our winning team of legal experts takes a full court press on your accident case, helping you recover emotionally, physically, and financially. Don't pass the ball. Let Paul Pata Law assist you in everything you deserve. It's not about the injury, it's about the recovery. Go to paulpatalaw.com.
The Vegas Golden Knights are rolling through another epic season. And there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Knights on the ice. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. So it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not seltzer, it's Surfside, official partner of the Vegas Golden Knights. Sold in arena and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, Las Vegas, are you tired of plumbing prices that break the bank? At 365 Plumbing, we're bringing fair pricing back. Family owned and operated, we treat your home like it's our own. For your everyday plumbing needs, we're here 365 days a year, rain or shine, day or night. Extend the life of your water heater right now. For a limited time, take advantage of our water heater flush special for only $26. Visit us at 365plummingnv.com. 365 Plumbing, because where the water flows, 365 Plumbing goes.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Man, all these worlds are colliding. We're just talking about how crazy Vegas sports talk is and these stories with all these major league franchises. We'll get to a lot of A's baseball from the opening weekend. We are the station of the A's, the station group of the A's. Again, that's coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. NBA is coming, 99.9% sure, 2028. Do we have a building that can house the NBA long term? Are we going to get Blackstone, Silver Lake, or some other company that we kind of barely know about owning an NBA franchise because it's going to cost $7 to $10 billion, and there's just some overlord. I won't say they're evil because I don't know who it's going to be yet, but some overlord who owns the NBA team, and then we never see the person, and there's no face of the franchise, and maybe they just look at Vegas as a way to make money, and hey, as long as they have 35 wins, tourists will fill the place up. We don't care about locals. Like, you got to be careful on that front. And then Bill Foley threw his hat in the ring, but talked about T-Mobile being the spot for both the NBA and the NHL, and then mentioned something like $300 million in renovations. And I'm like, wait, I swear the arena just opened. What do they need? I'm sure there's a laundry list that we don't realize what's needed in that arena for upgrades, but that's crazy. And then who pays for that? I'm guessing Bill Foley, which then kind of makes him attractive, right? Because that's the other thing. Are we going to have another tax that's going to help build an NBA arena? And by the way, Lombardo, I'd like to hear your plan. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there's
but on this basic premise, let's just go to the front end.
Go ahead.
Do you want Bill Foley as your NBA owner? Can someone be a great owner in a market? I'm sure there are examples of it when they own two teams.
Yes.
Like James Dolan?
Oh, Dolan. Hey, Dolan. You know, the funny thing is it would be probably the similar thing as with Dolan, where Dolan with the Rangers, when the Rangers got good, was when Dolan became backed off and let the hockey people be the hockey people.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of flipped where he's now letting the basketball people be the basketball people at the Knicks, and the Rangers, Chris Drury is too much power, but that's a different argument for a different time. I mean, Cofield, it just someone familiar with the market that the fans of this market trust, I think, is a good start. And the fans still trust, to my judgment, still trust Bill Foley for sure.
I do believe there are, I don't know what percentage it would be. I do believe there's a good percentage yesterday who were like, really mad that Cassidy got fired.
There's
you're growing affinity for someone who got you a cup.
Sure. But again, the coaching thing with hockey coaches is just so bizarre that but like we said, I said in the open, 8 games to go in Tortorella, crazy talk. What happened there? But no, I mean, look, it's much better than what you just said. Also, like if you get one of these investment groups that comes in, and you're just basically yelling into an abyss if the team's averaging between 25 and 35 wins. And it's just all that matters is the dollar amount. The other interesting thing is what happens. I know that there was a full-throated denial of this a few months ago when it was starting to rumble around, but what if the Adelsons want to come back to Vegas? What if they want the expansion team and want to just sell the Mavs? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but kind of makes a little bit of sense, doesn't it? Right? A little bit of sense.
We are on the road later in the week in Indianapolis. Our coverage at the Final Four is brought to you by Finley Honda Henderson. Welcome to The Difference. Steve Kim's coming up. Big boxing match this last weekend we can get into with Thurman and Fundora. And then wild times right now. You ever see that meme, Exciting Whites? Jason Whitlock and Steve were all over this on Fearless this morning. I mean, that was a weekend for the Whites, although Duke lost.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Seth Rollins, WWE superstar.
You feeling good, Seth?
I know there's a lot of skepticism in your question, TJ.
You are the host of the Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire show. There's only one host of such a
that hurts
program.
my feelings that you would think that about.
I'm just saying, there was a little condescension, you know what I mean, in your voice.
The Rich Eisen Show. The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 10 here on ESPN Las Vegas.
This is JT for Las Vegas's premier cigar lounge, La Casa Cigars and Lounge at Tivoli Village. You're going to be blown away like I was when I stepped into their walk-in humidor. Over 500 cigar labels to choose from. Plus, they feature one of the largest whiskey, scotch, and bourbon selections anywhere in the valley with live local entertainment 7 nights a week. Great place to watch football games. Check it out at lacasacigars.com.
Slam Fest takes Palms Casino Resort by storm April 15th through 19th with non-stop high-octane action. Rock out at Ghost Bar with Bully Ray, Hardy Party, and comedian Mick Foley. Then meet wrestling superstars Ric Flair, Soraya, Mojo, and more during our blowout poolside party at Palms Pool, and purchase a private cabana to bring the whole family. Tickets are also available for live wrestling inside Pearl Concert Theater. Always free parking. Get in the ring at palms.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 877-1500.
877-1500.
Randy Westbrook, managing attorney.
Vegas, get ready. The Aramco Championship is coming to Shadow Creek April 2nd through 5th. Watch the best players in women's golf compete for a huge $4 million prize fund. Don't miss the world-class golf right here in Las Vegas. Grab your tickets now at SeatGeek.com.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at Lowe's.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Power Shift by NV Energy is all about taking savings to the next level. Check it out. These products and services save energy and money. There are discounts and rebates on energy-efficient devices and free smart thermostats. Take savings to the next level at nvenergy.com/powershift. Power Shift by NV Energy. This is what we do.
Modelo is an official cerveza of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
Nick here with Stefano's Greek and Mediterranean Grill. Summerlin, it's official. Stefano's is now open on Lake Mead and Buffalo. Come enjoy our beautiful dining room designed for family meals, quick lunches, and everything in between. Or swing by for fast, easy takeout with all your favorites. Gyros, bowls, shawarmas, kebabs, and our famous baklava. Our salad dressings and marinades are made with no seed oils. And our must-try fries are cooked in 100% avocado oil. The new Stefano's in Summerlin is now open. Come taste what everyone's talking about. Stefano's, real food, real fast, real healthy.
Plumbers, HVAC techs, contractors, and DIYers. McFadden Industrial Hardware has the tools, parts, and supplies to power your next project. Open early and stocked with everything you need. Stop by South Decatur near Russell. McFadden Industrial Hardware. Fast, easy, and built for the pros.
Hey, Las Vegas, are you tired of plumbing prices that break the bank? At 365 Plumbing, we're bringing fair pricing back. Family owned and operated, we treat your home like it's our own. For your everyday plumbing needs, we're here 365 days a year, rain or shine, day or night. Extend the life of your water heater right now. For a limited time, take advantage of our water heater flush special for only $26. Visit us at 365plummingnv.com. 365 Plumbing, because where the water flows, 365 Plumbing goes.
Terribles Tuesday just got bigger. Download the free Terribles Plus Rewards app today and enjoy a new expanded menu of 40 items to choose from every Tuesday for free. You heard that right. Absolutely free. So no matter which one of you walks in, you can guarantee that you'll walk out with exactly what you're craving.
Delicious.
Terribles Tuesday, exclusively on the Terribles Plus Rewards app. Your daily routine rewarded deliberately different.
Hey, Jeff, how's the new job working out?
Really sucks. Terrible boss and the paycheck is even worse. I gotta get a new job.
Truck you.
Wait, what?
Truck you.
You don't have to curse at me.
Dude, you should check out Truck You CDL training. My brother got his CDL license in 4 weeks, and now he has a new career making great money.
Okay, I'm listening.
Truck You offers small classes with night and weekend times available. They will even help with payment programs. Check them out. LV.com. Truck You.
Whoever the that referee was, don't hire him for shit ever again, man. Real talk. Do you remember Eric Morales versus Marcos Maidana? Do you remember how many times people fought with broken orbital bones? Not even broken, man. Never got dropped in the whole fight. I'm getting caught on the back end of punches. The referee told me in the locker room, show me something. Move your feet, duck your head. I won't stop the fight. I'm using my legs. I'm getting caught on the back end. I wasn't buckled. He just jumped in like a white rabbit, man. So the little hockey referees, they're not made for main event boxing. The fight was getting fun.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
All right, let's bring in Steve Kim on some boxing, Final Four, much more beyond that. Steve, was Thurman right? Did he just get robbed? Was that fight stopped too early?
Well, look, it's easy to say that you want all of that when it's over. I thought he was in full retreat since the opening seconds of that bout, which were never competitive. I was at Castillo Corrales 1. Young man, you are no Castillo or Corrales. That is the reality. That fight was in 2005. It was actually a back-and-forth battle. It's the single greatest fight I've ever covered from press row.
Yeah.
I don't think anything really comes close. I'm good with it being the greatest fight that I'll ever see live. But the difference is it was not one-sided. That thing was one-sided from literally the first 5 seconds on when Fundura launched a straight left hand right down the middle. And I don't know if it buzzed him, but it certainly backed up Thurman, and Thurman was in full retreat the rest of the night. So in theory, could he have landed that lottery punch? Yeah, I guess. Do I think it was likely at all? No, I do not.
Steve Kim is with us. We'll get back to some boxing in a couple of minutes. I watched Fearless today. It was absolutely fascinating as the celebration of the white athlete was on. Good for you guys.
Did you ever think that there'd be a time, and I mentioned this, that basketball programs across the country would say, God, we just need more white guys? Never thought I'd see that in my lifetime, but yet here we are. Now, obviously, Whitlock likes to play up that angle. I think he knows what he's doing. It's very provocative. It gets people talking. But it's hard to I never thought that, in all seriousness, in my lifetime, that you would have teams with the makeup racially as they are now have that much success. I'll be honest, unless it was Duke, right, back in that era.
Right.
But he does make a point, and we did talk about it. It's more than just skin color or race, really. I think basketball, the more I research it, the more it's becoming a gated community sport. You got to have some money. You got to have the ability to travel. You got to have personal trainers. I'm not saying, look, you're always going to have a pool of talent from certain areas, socioeconomically, that's going to matter. But I believe that the pool of talent that they now draw from is years ago.
It's different. You guys went with the angle that, and we're referencing guys like, Mullins, who hits the 3-pointer to beat, have UConn beat Duke. We're also talking about European players, but the angle that was prevalent on the show is the white boys ain't afraid anymore when they go play basketball. And TJ Moe was giving credit to Donald Trump.
Yes, I think that was an interesting one about the mindset. But my view is, if you are a young man that plays basketball, let's say you're playing like a travel squad, right? And let's say it's a neighborhood or regional all-star team, and you're playing other teams that are kind of put together. I actually think there was a time when if you were basically a suburban white kid, you probably did not see it. Anyone that didn't look like you to the least, maybe the high school playoff or college. Now I think there's a lot of intermingling. And so like the mystique that may have been there about certain athletes or having to deal with them, I think it is lessened. I don't know how much the Donald Trump factor has to do with it, but that's an interesting angle too.
But you guys essentially are saying, and you're like one of the first shows to address the fact that everything about AAU is not bad. Club ball and being able to play outside of your community and mingle, and if there is any intimidation factor, that goes bye-bye when you play a lot of basketball with lots of different people.
Yeah, it does. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the story is like with Larry Bird, when he was kind of, going through some periods where he would play a lot of basketball somehow with older black players from, I think, a local hotel. These guys would take lunch off and play ball. So from an early age, he kind of knew how to play against more athletic players. And that's how he developed his edge as a basketball player. He wasn't just playing against a lot of quote-unquote Indiana Hoosiers. He was actually playing against guys that can go above the rim, that are probably quicker, faster. I think there is but also I think a lot of your NBA players that have offspring that make the upper levels of basketball, they're not growing up in the inner city. They're probably playing, with a lot of kids with some affluence, travel teams, AAU clubs. They have personal trainers. As I've said, I don't believe that's the greatest pool of talent anymore in terms of like NBA players. I don't think it's the blacktop anymore.
Steve Kim is with us from the show Fearless. Also, Steve Kim 323 up on Twitter, and of course, Steve Kim Boxing. .substack.com. Let me give you the storylines for these four schools in the Final Four. First of all, this Illini team has a chance to, I guess, get reparations for the times of the 89 Flying Illini and also the D. Brown, Darren Williams team back in 2004, 2005. What do you think of this Illini team?
I haven't really watched a lot of them. I do know the 89 team may have been the best team in the country. They just didn't beat Michigan when it counted. I remember the 2005 team had a great backcourt with Darren Williams, D. Brown. I think it was Luther Head was the other guy, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I called them today based on what Whitlock said, the Whitey Illini. I don't know if they're going to put that on a T-shirt. I have a feeling the University of Illinois will not go with that paraphernalia, but that's just my guess.
You never know. Certain parts of Illinois. You mentioned Michigan. I saw Jalen Rose pushing back that this could be the best Michigan team ever. I think it actually can go down as one of the best or the best Michigan team ever. But he wasn't arguing on behalf of his 5-5 group. He was actually going back to that 89 group that won the national title against Seton Hall, saying that was the best Michigan team ever. But this team is damn good.
It is. The 89 team, I think, had at least 6 or 7 NBA guys. People forget. Glenn Rice put on the best 6-game stretch I've ever seen in March. He was unbelievable. They had Romeo Robinson was a first-rounder. Lloyd Vaught was a first-rounder. Sean Higgins playing the NBA. Mark Hughes came off the bench. And then I think the Lakers, I don't know if Jake Boskill and Pelinka were on that team. They may have been young guys or freshmen. That is the greatest team because they had a real good run in the tournament. Being honest, guys, can any team today, based on the way the makeup of the teams are, they don't stick together, or there are a lot of one-and-dones, a lot of transfer. Can any team from today be considered the best of anything in college basketball?
I guess I'm not going to say it's impossible, But yeah, in terms of being together for 3 and 4 years, you're certainly not going to have experience playing together. I guess at some point, unless they outlaw this European pro stuff, I guess you could probably bring over 3-4 guys from the same team in Europe and have them play over here. Other storylines, upstart, UConn makes it with this mental patient, Dan Hurley leading the way. What do you think of UConn, little UConn making it?
Yeah, it's great to see an upstart Cinderella program like UConn just make it. I just love disruptors. But, guys, I want UConn now. Because, number one, they did America a favor by beating Duke. But, number two, I like Dan Hurley.
Okay.
I like him. I like him. I think he's just the type of coach we need. Like, he gives it an identity. He cares. He doesn't look like an easy guy to play for. But I don't know. Is he the closest thing to Bobby Knight in basketball? I'm not sure about that. But I like the fact that Hurley, he sticks true to who he is. He comes from a coaching family. His father is a legendary figure in New Jersey at St. Anthony's. And I just feel as though that college sports is missing is a lot of brand identity and tradition. And say what you want about him, I do think he brings that to UConn.
Okay. Let's go back to boxing here because we got some important stuff to get to. I was asking you this last week, assuming that Fundora was going to win. I mean, that was a pretty one-sided deal. I do wonder how many people are going to want to fight this guy who appears to be 6'11", 154. He's not that tall, but he's a hell of a matchup. What's going to happen in that area now for Fundora in terms of getting big-time fights?
I think he's the toughest out at 154, and I think there's some talented guys. Jaron Ennis, Xander Zayas, they just announced their fight for late June. Virgil Ortiz is still out there, but this is a fighter that has evolved from his knockout loss to Brian Mendoza in 2023, and at 6'6", he's the toughest matchup. I mean, he's tall for a heavyweight. There are heavyweights that are shorter than him, guys. Just think about that. And he's at 154 pounds, and he seems to be getting stronger physically. When I saw him a couple weeks ago in Anaheim when his sister fought, I noticed that his body type or his body frame looked more muscular. So he's put in some real work, and he's coming into his own. He's hitting harder. I think he's a better tactical boxer than he was, let's say, 2-3 years ago. And that is the question. Based on the structure of the business, you know, the way the boxing business works, it's all about risk versus reward. And my understanding is they had to give away a lot of tickets this past weekend. The pay-per-views probably didn't break any records. People will, I think, will find their way or find a way not to fight him if they don't have to.
Steve Kim, boxing.substack.com. You briefly mentioned Boots Ennis. So what's this fight coming up in June?
June 27th at the Barclays Center. It'll be him against Xander Zayas. Zayas is going big game hunting again. He's a unified champion at 54. And Jaron Ennis is a unified champion at welterweight who moved up. Everyone thought this was going to be Virgil Ortiz against Jaron Ennis, and that was going to be a great matchup. But as Virgil Ortiz has kind of gone sideways with his promotional company, Golden Boy Promotions, Xander Zayas flat out stepped into the breach. And Steve, what my understanding is, Xander Zayas demanded this fight. He actually told everyone around him, look, I don't care what you want. I want this fight. This is the fight that I want. I don't care what you think. My body, my choice, my career. And so I think he has to be given a lot of kudos for that.
Okay, time to go all over the map now with Steve Kim because Steve on Fearless and also on his Twitter account chimes in on a lot of stuff. So I wanted to follow up on a couple of things. Again, up on Twitter, Steve Kim 323. He's up here on ESPN Las Vegas with Parles and Cofield. I like to bust your chops about your dislike of the WNBA. Are you kind of blown away that Tillman Fertitta, who owns a lot of stuff here in Vegas, is a Landry's Restaurant Group, the Rockets, just agreed to buy the Connecticut Sun WNBA squad for $300 million. And I guess the thought is they're going to H-Town after this.
Really? God. Huh.
Yeah.
That's how you launder money nowadays, huh?
Well, think about this, Steve. Mark Davis, who NFL owners, I think, kind of openly panned as an idiot. Mark Davis bought the Aces in Vegas in 2021 for $2 million. His Vegas franchise might be worth like $400 million in 5 years.
I guess this is going to be interesting to see what happens with this new collective bargaining agreement that was agreed upon. This league can actually grow. I didn't hear about this thing with $400 million. They're going to move it to Houston. Did they already have a team before that busted?
Yeah, the Comets. Yep. Yeah, they're going to move him back. $300 million for the Sun. Okay, another conversation. Have you gotten into this whole thing with the sports books and some lawsuits, and what people are saying is because of AI is predatory behavior?
By who?
By the books, that they're basically, because they're behind the scenes using AI, and now AI is being used by everyone to sort of test our likes, dislikes, can kind of read our emotions, the right time to send stuff out. It's a very intriguing deal here.
Yeah, that's why I go out to look. I've heard stories. If you win too much, they just don't take your bets, and you can't cash out. I don't particularly gamble really all that much at all. I think it's something that can, 1% make a living at it. You have to be really good in advance. But does that surprise me? No. I mean, I read something today that I didn't realize this, but when Atlantic City first opened up, they used to send free bus trips, round trips to ship people in to gamble, and people were losing all their money.
Yeah.
This has been going on for years, with or without modern technology. This is all par for the course.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's funny. I saw you comment on that, and I was like, wait, everyone around the country didn't know that? Yeah, that was a regular thing.
Oh, yeah.
All around New
Wow.
Jersey. Jeff and I both grew up in New Jersey, and yeah, I mean,
Really?
my parents are in a senior living community now. You bet your ass, even now, their buses ready to go. I mean, they live like 60 miles away. Your parents are close there too,
Well,
right?
I mean, my grandparents who lived on Long Island, they had bus trips up the Foxwoods in Atlantic City. It's whatever they wanted.
Steve, they'd give them a couple of rolls of quarters too. Like, we'll get you started. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's free. It's free to
That
gamble.
is
Old people.
genius marketing. That is genius marketing, though. If you really think about it, I am stunned that there's never been like a documentary on them.
Yes.
That is some great stuff.
All right, and last one. We got like 30 seconds left. You know what? I'm gonna hold it for next week. It's a bigger conversation. We ran out of time again, buddy. I appreciate you coming on. That's what we do. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a great week, guys.
There he is. Okay. We don't want to rush it.
I'm surprised Steve didn't know that.
It's so
That was like
commonplace. Philly, New York. I mean, even going even further north. When AC was the only deal on the East Coast, they'd go south. Just bus after bus after bus of seniors with the rolls of coins, just trying to break them.
I mean, the Long Island, a common thing to send them up the Foxwoods, 100%.
Yep. And these are not short trips.
No.
But seniors are looking for entertainment, and they got a little extra cash, at least at the moment. Social Security check. What do you want to spend? Half of it? All of it? Okay, let's go. There was no hesitation. Mean stuff.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island is the ultimate spot to catch all your favorite sports on huge video walls. 55 plus TVs offering ideal views from every seat, gourmet comfort foods, craft beers on tap, and all your favorite beverages. Plus, Treasure Island is the only place on the strip with free parking.
Level up any sub with Pepperoncini Pepper Jack. Back for a short time only. Order today at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
Worried about your car payment? Don't be. Drive happy with a Westar Credit Union auto loan. Whether you are ready for something new or want to refinance your current ride, we've got you with affordable payments and easy approvals. Picture yourself behind the wheel, windows down, music up, on the road to what matters most. Apply today at westar.org or stop by your nearest branch. All loans are subject to approval. Terms and conditions apply. Must be a member to borrow. Membership requires a savings account with a minimum balance.
Big news, Las Vegas. Les Olson IT has moved to a bigger, better facility to serve you like never before. Our new space means more technology, more service, and more solutions, all designed with you in mind. Plus, we're hiring. If you're ready to grow with a company that values innovation and community, join our team today. Proudly serving Las Vegas for 23 years and counting. Les Olson IT, your business better.
Les Olson IT.
Listen to UNLV Sports right here on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN, Las Vegas. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, here we go. 4 o'clock hour. Utter confusion. I don't know where I am, what I'm doing. Oh, hour two of the show. We're tracking baseball. Obviously, following up on a wild Sunday with the Elite Eight and locally with hockey with VGK. Moving on from Bruce Cassidy, which I still think is crazy. Our hockey experts, and I can't wait to hear what they have to say on this one because I know they had strong feelings about Butchie. Darren Millard and RTHG are over right now on Fox Sports Las Vegas, so make sure you tune in over there. Crazy times, man. These are not when you cover a team, coaching firings are not easy. 8 games left in the season is like that's next level.
Nuts.
Next level.
Nuts. Totally crazy.
That's also a lesson that while I hate robots and I really don't like AI, someone made me take one of those robot cars this weekend, which we'll have to get into.
Made you?
I kind of got guilted into it, and I was scared crapless the entire time.
I can't wait for this.
Enjoy it. Did not enjoy it.
Did not enjoy it.
But on the robot front, this is why, as a media person, and even more, you know what, for fans, having an allegiance to certain people, especially with VGK, don't do it. Always know the breakup is coming, and it could be real sudden.
Yeah.
Because Foley and company, there is no emotion. It's all about the mission at hand. And if you want to root for a coach or a player, that person could be gone at any minute or at any moment. All right, Big Four time.
Battleborn Injury Lawyers presents the Big Four at 4. Number 4.
By the way, if you want to watch the show, we are up on YouTube. Just look up Cofield and Company on Twitter, on Facebook. We try to do that for a decent portion of the show each and every day as we're on in Reno and Vegas. And this hour is brought to you by Battleborn Injury Lawyers, 766-1400. It's Battleborn Injury Lawyers, 775-766-1400 in the north. That is the call from anywhere in the state of Nevada number. I like a lot of the pomp and circumstance around baseball. I like that baseball is trying to be more entertaining in little snippets. I saw 2 closer entrances this weekend. And, one of the most famous ones over the years was Trevor Hoffman, Metallica, Enter Sandman, right? That whole thing. So they kind of brought that back with Mason Miller. They could have had it for 14 closers since Trevor Hoffman. I don't know. I don't care. But Mason Miller, because we've got ties to him as a former A. And, Las Vegas A's, they're here, baby. They had him come out to Korn, and it was pretty freaking epic. And volume is key, too. I mean, it is loud at Petco, and then the announcer timed it perfectly and came in like, ladies and gentlemen. That one was really good. But as compared to the new closer for the Dodgers, sorry, Jeff, I saw the pain.
Yeah.
You don't want to say his name, do you?
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's still go ahead. I'm gonna
say his name.
Oh,
it's a breakup. You can deal with it.
Well, come on. Well, look, Edwin Diaz with the Timmy Trumpet Narco, which is to me still the best, even though I did not love the version on Friday. I did not think the trumpet sounded that great.
I saw this. I saw what's going on here. In my world, I don't know who the real musicians are, who are music experts. Were you a brass player?
I was not. I
mean, it wouldn't surprise me if you were.
My extent of musical instruments was I played the saxophone for 2 years.
Well, I mean, that's pretty significant.
And I was truly horrific at it.
You're an expert.
Oh,
well, you know what bad sounds like.
Well, I do know. Yes,
you didn't like this woman's version? She's what was her name? Tatiana Tate.
Yeah,
who was based in Long Beach. I thought. I mean, I'm not a Timmy Trumpet devotee or the Narco song, but I just thought the fact that they had a live musician there,
it's cool.
That was cool.
Look, it's cool. It's the best entrance of any closer since, honestly, you forgot Mariano. Even though him and
did I get Hoffman's song wrong? I don't know.
No, him and Hoffman both had the same song. I still will lean to Edwin, even though it makes me very, very sad every time he comes into the game for the Dodgers now. Because now that the Dodgers have the best closer in baseball, it makes them even harder to beat. And also the intro is awesome. Miller's one was pretty darn cool. The only thing that was a little bit bizarre is that is like the least San Diego thing ever. But it was pretty amazing with the lights too. And it just Very, very, very cool. And you know what? I know we'll get to it in number 3 too, Cofield, but let's just keep diving into making baseball as much fun as humanly possible.
Number 3.
I totally agree. And this weekend, aside from dramatic comebacks, Blue Jays against the A's, big home runs, some of the biggest roars were around ABS and the umpires. It's incredible to watch how fans have been trained over the years to dislike the umpires, and now we get to publicly shame them. People love it.
It was so the biggest one came on Saturday in Cincy, where CB Buckner had what can only be described as a CB Buckner game. For people who have watched CB through the years, we know he's not good. We know he's not a good umpire. We've known it forever. And he had 8 calls challenged, Cofield. 6 of them were overturned, including a very important sequence in the middle of the game of a 1-run game with Eugenio Suarez at the dish. And it was as loud of a cheer ever for the second of a back-to-back stretch where Buckner missed the first call, punched him out. Suarez challenged. It missed by 1/10 of an inch. So it was very, very close. Buckner was clearly not happy that the first one got
I'm going to get him on this one.
And then clearly, exactly. Oh, I'm going to get on this one. Punched him out on a pitch where live, I thought it was, that's clearly not a strike. Suarez tapped the head again. It was missed by 1.5 inches, and the crowd went berserk.
We can't even really do it justice. And we could have, our vast sound crew could have grabbed the sound. I'm telling you, go look up this highlight, Reds ABS. If you can, CB Buckner.
Just search Buckner, it comes up.
The great thing is it was so loud. And on the second one, the announcer's basically like, we hit 2 home runs earlier, and this noise is blowing those moments away.
Yes.
That's how fired up the fans were. I didn't realize how trained people are to be like, let's go, Blue. You suck, Blue. You suck. Like, we're just trained to not like umpires. And especially in the case, if people really know CB Buckner or some of the other guys like Laz Diaz or guys who have often been real truculent, want to fight, like this is, I dare I say it, I actually feel a little bit bad. But it is a means to it. Well, it's just an awful moment for them.
Oh, it's very embarrassing, but it's also, but here's the other thing though. And Codify Baseball on Twitter put this up. This was just through Saturday, so we'll see how this goes through the season. But this is pretty important, Cofield, for getting these younger guys to be better and getting eventually these older guys who shouldn't be umpires anymore out. Overturn rate of the umpires. 69% of the challenge calls against the 10 oldest umpires had been overturned through Saturday, the first 4 days of the season. Only 39% of the challenge calls against the 10 youngest umpires got overturned. So that tells you that these younger guys are quite good, and the youth is helping because they're getting more familiar with the strike zone and they know that they have to be better in order to make it to the bigs. While these older guys who have been around for a long time, some of these guys are really not any good. I mean, Doug Eddings got overturned by Sal Perez 3 different times on low strikes on Friday night.
The catcher's like, I think it's a reputation of the dude that he doesn't call low strikes. So Sal Perez is like, okay, let's see what happens here. Throw it at the bottom of the zone. Challenge. Like, sorry, bro, you got him wrong.
Number 2.
We are actually going to do a double ABS feature in our Big Four because then there's this part of it. How do these umpires channel this inner rage that we know they've been able to channel in the past? They could just go after people, arbitrarily throw guys out of the game, start arguments, just bump them. What do they do now? Because I thought the moment the other night with Randy Arozarena where he got called out, strikeout, he walks over the plate and a challenge is instituted. He starts taking his equipment off. He's so confident that he is going to walk that he is already 4 steps up the line. And the poor ump who normally would have been like, get the hell out of here. He would have thrown him out. The manager would have thrown out. And Arozarena is like, I'm right. And I'm now going to show you how right I am by making you look like a jackass. You aren't bothered by it.
I am in a minority in this studio. I had no problem with it. Okay. But you better be right. That's the only other thing. If you're wrong, Then you look like a complete jagwagon.
Okay.
And but I have no problem with it, especially since he was right. I really have no issue with it.
Here's the issue.
Go ahead.
Misapplication of the rules.
Okay.
Because
I'm interested.
Well, we
Go
saw
ahead.
a case earlier where Kevin Biggio was denied an ABS review. I thought the reasoning was stupid. So left-hand side of the plate, I don't know what I'm doing for the cameras here, but called strike. He flips the bat in his hand, catches the bat, and then wanted to challenge. And the ump's like, nope, bat was out of your hand. Can't do it. Arozarena didn't challenge until he walked up the line. So is the rule what happened to Biggio? Or are you allowed to walk out of the box, flip the bat? What's the rule? They should. I mean, that's the other thing. The ump should know the freaking rule.
The only other thing is I wonder if there was a verbal that we just didn't know.
Maybe.
Which again,
actually, is that a rule too? Can you
I'm
just
not,
verbal? Or do you have to hit the hat?
I'm not sure because on opening day for the Mets, Freddie Peralta didn't legitimately said on a call that got overturned, I didn't know how to challenge. So he started pointing at the umpire instead of hitting his head. So
because I saw it was so today there was a case where was that the Minnesota manager was all
that was yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday. So the Minnesota manager got pissed off because
Helsley didn't do it in time.
He didn't think the pitcher got it in time.
Correct. That's what he thought.
Well, they'll be able to iron that out. But the first weekend here, there's some inconsistencies.
Yeah, they're Chelsea.
By the way, pitchers should not don't review. You don't get to institute review. Have the catcher do it.
Catchers have been great, 59-92 so far.
They know pitchers are. It's too emotional. They're too worked up.
Yeah,
but so far, I love it.
A++.
Number 1.
Not so much for on the field by the A's.
Nope.
That was rough. This bullpen still needs to get figured out because it was messy. And the Blue Jays are good, but they were in prime position in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, it just, this is going to be a work in progress for this pitching. We talked about it all last week. This pitching is not good enough. The line, I mean, look, they didn't really hit on in the first and third games of this series, but when you score 7, you're supposed to win, Cofield. So the lineup will be fine. We'll see what they get out of the pitching, but it kind of just showed how far away they are from realistically being a threat in the AL.
Now, they're going to have to smoke the ball all year. They're going to have to be a top 3 offense in baseball to get to 500. Now, I have multiple bets on the over and the under at 76.5. We'll see what happens with that whole deal. But I'm still optimistic. Their lineup is ridiculous. And, man, the other thing is we get to watch the rise potentially here in the near future of Leo DeVries. And, boy, if that guy comes up, if he's really good really early,
oh, yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, bring him up quickly.
What a freaking lineup. We're going to be on the road for the Final Four, so make sure you tune in on Thursday and Friday. And part of that trip is funded by Jackson's Bar and Grill, our good friends at 6020 West Flamingo. One of the top value steaks in Las Vegas is $22 on the 1-pound ribeye, $22 on the garlic marinated bistro filet. If you don't want a steak, they got a loaded menu. It's 6020 West Flamingo, Jackson's Bar and Grill on Flamingo and Jones.
Terribles Tuesday just got bigger. Download the free Terribles Plus Rewards app today and enjoy a new expanded menu of